Welcome back. You're now tuned to the Soul in 60, the one and only timeshare podcast
in the world.
And we're back 2026. Congratulations for all you that made it. And today we got a special guest. My guest in the house is my man Joel. Joel, what's goody? What's goody? What's goody?
What's going on, Soul in 60?
Yo.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. I really appreciate you having me.
It's a pleasure to have you, brother. It's a pleasure to have you. You know what I'm saying? It's a new year. I know you already came out the gate gunning. I know there's new energy at your resort where you at.
Yes, sir.
We want to talk all about it. Dylan, what's goody? What's popping with you?
Listen, man, I just want to say, if you made it, if you're still in the game, if you're still holding on, hold strong. It's a new year. The good thing about the new year, everybody starts at zero.
Amen. Everyone's number one.
For sure.
Yeah, I love that part. And then there's always that one. This is where the race really begins, because one deal puts a person number one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, and it changes every tour.
Yeah.
Every tour. So that's the truth.
It do. It's what's up, man. So it's exciting. Shout out to everyone that made it through the season. I did get a message from someone today who actually got let go. You know, I always said, last show we had, one time I expressed that I don't like when people start in December. Because a lot of times that's just for the season, and like if you don't come out the gate gunning in that season, you'll be one of the ones that be let go, and then you got to wait to the next class, whenever that could be, for spring or whatever. So, you know, if you were in that class, don't be discouraged. You know, just hanging there. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the way the seasons roll. You know, man. But yeah, man. Shout out to those who have made it through. I don't know. You know, when I was a rep, I remember worrying about these slow times. January, February. September, October.
This is my second January in the game.
Yeah,
man. It's brand new to me.
Let's talk about it. So, how long you been in the game?
This is gonna be my a year and 6 months now, actually. Yeah, exactly a year and 6 months.
So when you started, what month was that?
That was June of 2024.
Okay, so you were fortunate.
Yeah,
you came in the summer.
That's yes.
The summer, because a lot of times when you start in the summer, everything's already in motion, and you don't have time for the learning curve. Would you agree?
You get thrown into the wolves.
Yeah,
into the wolves' den, literally. You know. So when I started, I had no sales experience. I mean, I was in advertising before this, and yeah, I literally hit the ground running and didn't sell for the first 10 tours, 11 tours. And I know how it is over there at the villas, you know. If you're not popping deals, they're looking over you. They're like, what? Go to your table? I don't know. Maybe I'll go over here first.
Yeah. But
we made it, man. We made it happen. Thank God.
But that's good, because a lot of people that's watching, they don't really understand, like, what's that like when you're new and the managers don't want to give you the time of day to help you work the table and learn the new things. They're going to go to the short shot or who they feel has a better shot.
Hey, you can't blame them, man. They're there to make money too, you know? So at the end of the day, if they have a certain deal over here, I'm not going to feel some type of way. I'm still learning the game. I was very fortunate that I had a lot of very good guides, a lot of very good mentors, you being one of them. You certainly were in the training department at the time. So I certainly benefited from all of your guidance. But yeah, man, I was very fortunate to have the gift of gab. That helped me out quite a bit.
That takes you right there.
Yes, sir. And yeah, I just decided that I needed to make this work. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
But you came in, you were referred by a family member.
Yeah, man, a cousin of mine. Yeah. He's actually at the villas now.
Okay. And I think that when someone brings you into an arena that they know you're going to survive in, it's all about just figuring out your niche. And then, you know what I mean?
Right.
So what was that journey like? Like, being brand new, coming from marketing, you said marketing, right?
Yeah.
Coming from marketing and getting into like a sales arena where, you know, things are already in motion. You know what I mean?
Well, it was scary. Yeah, that's one. Absolutely. I'm not gonna, you know, beat around the bush there. When I just jumped into the game, I left a 16-year career. You know, I already had responsibilities, you know, no children yet, but I do have people who depend on me. And I needed to make sure that my base was covered for at least 6 months before I could make that transition. So I did that. My cousin told me, he goes, I'm jumping into this. I'm going into it for a year. And a year from now, if it goes good, you better be ready to jump ship. So I upped the 401k. You know what I mean? I started putting money aside over here, over there. And, you know, just enough to get me by for 6 months so that I know I got 6 months to learn this and be successful at it. And thank God that I was able to do it before that. Gotcha. You know, yeah. And I'm not fully successful yet. I'm still new, but I'm learning every single day.
Absolutely.
And I'm progressing every single day, which is the most important part, I think.
I think you're successful because you made it thus far.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you saying that.
Pushing through. I remember the learning curves. I remember the, like we've all been through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't think that I jumped up here and was like superstar off the rip, nigga. I've been on two for 10s and shit like that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like where they,
For sure.
for you that watching, a 2 for 10 is like they give you like the next 10 tours. If you don't get 2 sales, at least they gonna cut you.
No.
You know what I'm
There's
saying?
a certain somebody that hit me with a 2 for 3.
Oh.
If you don't get the next 2 out of these 3, you're gone. And guess what? I got him.
Yeah,
I was still gone, bro.
No.
Yeah, it's just the name of the game. It's good.
That's crazy. I never heard that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen somewhere else, regardless.
Yeah.
But I got him.
Yeah.
And I left with my head high, my head held high, and I'll conquer the next resort. And thank God, I've been successful there.
So wait, they gave you a 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
You got them. Then did they still cut you?
They still come.
So let me ask you this. With that being said, what I hear in the background of that is maybe there's selective politics going on.
Hey,
What's your take on the politics at the timeshare industry?
And I'll be quite honest with you. I've noticed that, there is quite a bit of politics, but I refrain to give you my opinion because I'm still brand new in this industry.
Gotcha.
I've heard that there's, obviously...
You've heard it,
a little
and you've
favoritism,
seen,
and I've seen. Yeah, of course, I
yeah.
can't deny that.
For sure.
I'd be lying to you if I did.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
If your numbers are there, and obviously I was only 2 months in when I did get let go.
For sure.
So, and my numbers were there. He hit me for the 2 for 3, and I got the 2, and it was back to back. Like that third one, I didn't even get the shot at. I was gonna get that one too.
Yeah. But even though they say there's the politics and they got their favorites and they're feeding people tours, another thing that we talk about is even if you are getting fed good tours, somebody that has good credit, whatever the case may be, that rep still has to go out there and do their job and sell.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right.
So
because I could give you the best tour on the planet, but if you don't perform,
if you can't handle it. You'll fumble the ball.
You'll fumble the bag, 100%.
We debate about that all the time. Like, all their politics, do they play with the wheel? And I don't know. I was one of those. Can I say I was naive? I don't know. But I try to just say what's for me is for me.
I'm glad you said that because that's my mentality. Like God's got me. Mm-hmm. Regardless, y'all can do whatever you want with that wheel. Yeah. And I'm not saying they're doing it, and I'm saying they're not doing it. But what I can tell you is that I know that God's got me.
For sure.
So the tour that's going to land in my hands is what God's got.
It's for me,
yeah. Exactly.
But after multiple shows and multiple interviews, I guess the wheel is definitely played with.
For sure.
But for the right, as a business model, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to pass the ball to who I think can score.
And that's exactly it. You're definitely going to make sure that the best person for the job is performing the job. And I can't hate on that. This is a numbers game.
Let's just do a pause break right now do a swag check. I'm just noticing the cuff right here with the okay.
Yeah,
so just hit him with on the camera with the just hit him with the custom. Okay, that's that timeshare money right there. If you didn't know, when your shirts is custom with your initials, you're on a different level. Okay.
Yeah, he's looking like a director of sales.
You gotta dress for the job you want. Ain't that true?
But one thing I could say, you came in the game swaggy. You came in the game sharp. You always dress sharp. I mean. People recognize who's going to be a good fit. Your cousin recognized you was going to be a good fit.
Yeah. He said that from the get. I was very blessed to have a father that would wear a shirt and tie to a barbecue, bro. He said you never know who you're going to meet when you're going to meet them.
That's true.
So you better be ready to perform. And that's definitely helped me out in this industry.
One thing I could say, as a trainer coming in the game, we analyze who's hungry, who's studying harder, who's staying after the game. I seen you do that. I seen that.
Thank you
know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I told you then, but I recognize that. You always been hungry to learn. There's the guy that takes notes. There's the guys that stays later. And and that's why you're successful.
Thank you, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't come in the game playing.
Nah. Yeah, like I said, I put it all on the line. Like I'm trying to go from paycheck to paycheck to comfortable.
Yeah.
And thank God, in a year and a half, I put myself in a position where I started the new year and man, I still got some money in there. I went through Christmas, birthdays, and there's still some money in the account. So yeah, man, thank goodness, bro.
Nice. I love that.
Nice. I had some reps tell me recently, they called me after they got out of their tour. They said, "Oh man, can you believe, they gave me a one-legged tour or they gave me an Indian or they gave me blah blah." And I said, "Listen, What do you mean they gave you? You know, this is just a numbers. Right. This is a number game. Because what if they would have gave you somebody that would have came in and bought a $50,000 deal? Would you be telling me? Would you believe they gave me somebody that came in here and bought $50,000? You wouldn't be saying that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, and I'm glad you brought up the Indian, because I just met with an Indian family. Literally, this was a week ago, and everybody was looking at me like, "Hey, good luck." Yeah. And man, that was a $28,000 deal.
Get out of here.
Nice. Yeah. And they were engineers, so very analytical people.
For sure.
And as long as you're able to explain the program, man, it sells itself. I'm just here to show you how to use this program, And so you can't prejudge. That's really a thing. You cannot prejudge. You don't know who is gonna buy.
For sure. Absolutely. That's what's up. So your first deal, can you remember your first deal?
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
When the deal was going down, did you even realize what was going down, or you knew fully what was going down?
I had the credit card in my hands before I understood that he was purchasing.
Oh, wow.
The TO, God bless her. She definitely helped me out quite a bit. I'm not going to say any names on this, on this podcast. But,
well, give it a flowers if they helped you out.
At the villas, I was helped by Irene. Helped me out quite a bit. Obviously, I worked on the OTM team over there, and man, I'll be honest with you. It's been so long since I worked with her that I'm having a hard time remembering her.
Yeah.
And that's terrible. I apologize.
For sure.
But yeah, so she helped me out quite a bit, and we ended up pulling a $37,000 deal full down.
Your first deal?
My first deal, bro. Okay. And as you can imagine, putting it all on the line, 2.5 months in, seeing that type of return, I was hooked. I knew exactly what I was going to do for the rest of my life.
For sure.
For sure. But yeah, so it didn't work out the way I planned. Unfortunately, we aimed so high that customer, I guess, never made a payment or something. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. I made it happen for them. I sold them the ability that they wanted for themselves.
For sure.
Whether they could afford it or not, it's their decision.
Never made a payment, or they didn't complete the down payment?
They never made a payment, brother. They left me a full down payment and never actually made a monthly.
But did that affect you?
It did. Yeah, it certainly did.
Okay.
So let's talk about it, because there's some reps out here that they don't talk about the cancellation. That's a real part of the game.
It is
what it is.
Part of the game. It's certainly, and when you think you got it there, for 6 months later to be hit with
chargeback,
a huge chargeback, $5,000 chargeback.
There you go.
Shoot, yeah.
So you personally, do you have a strategy for the viewers that are listening? Because a lot of listeners are frontline sales reps. Do you have a personal strategy on how many times you reach out to the family after a sale within the first 10 days?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
If they're traveling, I make sure to reach out and make sure that they got home safely. And definitely follow up, before that first month's payment. Obviously, you want to make sure that they understand still how the program works, because to be honest, you can't expect everyone to remember everything that you're explaining to them in such a short period of time. That's why I make sure that I make myself accessible to the customer. And just obviously make sure you're there for them. That's the only thing that I see has helped me retain the business, because I've noticed that when you don't do that, you're gonna get an opposite effect.
Got you.
Yeah,
for sure.
And Westgate University has been very helpful in that.
Yeah.
So I refer my customers to, you have any questions, you have any concerns.
Well, what is that?
So Westgate University was recently brought out, maybe I want to say about a year ago now, and they just customer service basically. So you're able to send your owners there, whether it's on the phone or at the property. They got one at the villas, they got that one at the lakes. And they just answer all their questions. They help them set up reservations. It's a program that we built to help the customer learn how to use what they've purchased.
Shout out to Low Wood. I believe he spearheaded that whole.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well then shout out to Low.
Yeah,
Thank you,
shout out
bro.
to Low Wood.
Been a huge help for me. I appreciate it.
That Westgate University has something new where they have they'll explain to the owners how to use the product.
Correct. Yes. Correct? So at the end of the day, when you're talking about you got 2 different exchange networks with multiple options of getaways, it can be a little confusing and a little daunting. So yeah, we've got Westgate University to help the owners out.
So let's just say, obviously every sales rep out there on their way to work, they should be mentally focused on, accomplishing their goal, which is getting to deeding. But let's say you're doing everything that you do to prep to get ready for work, which we'll talk about that. But let's say you meet your family in the lobby, and the first thing they tell you is, Hey, look, Joel, man, I appreciate it, man. My wife, we already own timeshare. As a matter of fact, with 2 companies already. My wife just wanted to get these little Disney tickets or whatever, and that's why we're here. I'm just being upfront and honest with you.
And I appreciate you being honest with me. That's the first thing I'm going to say, because at the end of the day, you're going to allow that information right there is super valuable for me as a sales rep. It allows me to know where I'm going to go with this presentation.
There you go.
So thank you for telling me that. And I'm going to thank him. I'm going to big him up for owning it somewhere else.
There you go.
Congratulations, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What do you own? Where do you own?
Yeah.
How can you use it?
Yeah, for sure.
And how are you using it? Because
For sure.
you can use it this way, but are you using it this way?
For
You know what I
sure,
mean?
for sure.
So try to get into the nitty gritty of how they use the program and just try to fill the gaps. There's always gaps.
Always.
There's always gaps.
For
They
sure.
always go outside their timeshare.
Absolutely.
And that's where I'm at.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm at.
Absolutely. Okay. Damn. Where'd you get your training from? For sure.
Hey, like I said, there's been multiple people that have had an influence in where I've gotten to. And thank God, because like I said, I put it all on the line. And I don't mean to say that over and over again, but it's real. It's real when you're the one doing it. Shoot. And fresh out here from New Jersey. I moved from New Jersey 3 years ago. Yeah. And to completely change my career, I came with a New York salary thinking I'm going to be killing it.
Yeah.
Shoot. And I pulled up and I see Lambos. And I'm like, no, wait, I want a Lambo.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So yeah, man.
We had a guest on the show not too long ago. Shout out to Enrique. He mentioned,
I know Enrique.
Oh, you know
Enrique's
Enrique.
The man. Hell
okay, yeah, man.
Enrique's the man. I've seen that pod.
So he said that he grabbed a little bit from this person, a little bit from that person, and then he kind of created his own little presentation.
Absolutely.
Is that kind of like how you designed your presentation?
Absolutely, sir. I realized that the formula works as long as you're able to find your way to deliver it. Because in the beginning, I was super robotic about things, and I felt like there's no connection there. And as soon as I was able to realize that there's a different way to deliver the same exact information, just with a personal touch, and learning from here and learning from there, and oh wait, that's how you say that. That has more impact. And then starting to incorporate all those things, but little by little, honestly, because if you try to do that too quickly, you're gonna go down the wrong path, and then you're gonna lose information. And I don't recommend any new rep to start incorporating a different way to do the presentation. Execute that, master that, and then start making it your own.
For sure.
But now, like being through a training and then realizing that maybe the things that you learn in the training is not the same things to use on the floor. Like, what would you say to someone new that's coming in with that robotic flow?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then they have to figure out their own way to deliver.
And repetition, that's the only thing I can say to you is just stick to the format, deliver the format, and eventually you're going to make it your own. I mean, you have no other choice but to, because once you realize that this is more an emotional purchase, and that's that anyone who does buy timeshare, they buy it based on emotion. I mean, the logic is there because we're able to save you money, and you're able to go to places that you never in your world thought you was going to be able to go to. But at the end of the day, it's the emotion of getting there that's going to make you do the purchase. So you have to personalize it. You have to build that connection. You have to be able to create that rapport, because if not, you're not going to sell.
So for somebody out there is taking notes right now, but they want to know, what are some key things to do to build that connection? What are some steps that they can do to like really get into the heartstrings and the emotions of the person that's in front of them?
Hey, man, I mean, honestly, start by remembering names. That's so dang on important. If I'm able to deliver something with your name at the end, like, hey, Dylan, it's a pleasure to meet you, or hey, Dylan, where do you want to go? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't remember somebody's name, you're never going to connect. You got to personalize.
Not just them. You'll be surprised if you can remember the kids.
Hey, just the other day, like that Indian family, they had two little girls with them.
Yeah.
And one of them, seemed to be a little bit on the spectrum. Like, she was like 3 and not talking yet.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a challenge as well. But as soon as the parents noticed, like, hey, no, I'm a professional. Like, we're going to make sure that she's okay with, she's coloring. If she wants to eat just the bologna in the sandwich, well, shoot, take the bread off. So in that sense, there's different ways to connect, but definitely you got to start by remembering the names. And then commonality. Everybody has commonality, whether it's in food or sports or, even like just interest, hobbies. You got to get into all of that, because once you start getting into this presentation and going into second and third level questions, those things come up,
I think a lot of new reps, And again, we're all new, so we want to learn the script and we want to make sure we say the next thing right. But for a lot of new reps, if you kind of just you know your script, but more listen to what the family is saying.
Correct.
That's gonna guide you where you need to go next in your script.
Absolutely.
Really, you know what I'm saying? If you just
100%.
listen,
But listening also comes with asking questions that make them answer and open up.
asking the right questions for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because obviously you're dealing with all different types of characters.
Yeah.
You're dealing with all different types of people, and there are people who are open. There are people who are not open. And I mean, at that point, I guess as a salesperson, you got to pick your battles. You know what I mean? And then you're not going to be able to sell everybody. And as soon as you're comfortable with knowing that, shoot, I think you'd have some success in this business.
Yeah.
So as a sales rep, there are what we call the gray area. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm a family in front of you right now and I tell you, hey, Joel, this ownership that you're showing me is 30,000. Wow, am I able to purchase this and sell it for 30,000? 5 years from now and get my money back, or flip it, or whatever the case may be. What are you sharing with a family
In
that?
In that sense, the first thing that I'm going to make sure to address is the fact that I'm not selling this for you to sell it. This is an investment in your vacations. This is an investment in changing your lifestyle. It's not an investment for you to sit here and think that now, I'm a property owner that I can rent out for the year. No, I'm going to make sure to address that right away. But in the long run, yes, this can be an investment in terms of you're going to set your family up to have a different type of lifestyle for the rest of their lives and their kids' lives. So I try to focus more on the long run, the long aspect of this, rather than the short term gain, because in all reality, there's no reason to purchase this product for the short term gain. Okay. I don't think.
If I'm a family and I'm sharing with you, hey, Joel, you know what you're sharing with me sounds amazing, but we honestly did see some resales on eBay or online for a fraction of what you're telling me now. What's the difference between these resales online and what you're selling me for 30,000?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about a guarantee of a product. When you're purchasing from a developer, you're coming with all the developer benefits on that product. Now, you go and purchase third party. Sure, you can get that week, but I highly doubt you're going to be able to enjoy that week the way that you would want to enjoy that week. Maybe for the purchase price, it's going to be worth it. But in the long run, when you're paying those maintenance and taxes, and all you can do is use that property where you don't want to go again, then that's not going to be a favorable investment for you. So yeah, maybe 30,000 is above your reach right now, but we can start with a flex program. We can start with there are multiple options. There are other properties, that give you a lower maintenance and taxes. There are other properties that give you a lower purchase price. It all depends what it is that you're looking for.
Have you gotten a family that has shared with you the Dave Ramsey? They're Dave Ramsey fans, and Dave Ramsey says don't buy a timeshare. What's your take on that?
Well, 100%. Like I said, this and I start all of my presentations by saying that this program is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone has their way of doing things, and there are certain families that this benefits, and there are certain families that this doesn't benefit. This may not be for you, but at the end of the presentation, you'll understand why 1 out of 4 is going to purchase. So yeah, like I said, it's not for everyone. That's my angle on that. Like I said, you got to be ready to know you're not going to sell everyone.
I hear that these maintenance and taxes continue to go up. Is that true with your program?
It is,
maintenance and taxes?
I mean, that's everywhere. Inflation is a real thing. It's going to cost me more this year to maintain the property than it did last year.
Gotcha.
So absolutely. But rentals go up. Airbnbs go up. Everything goes up.
Gas goes up. Property taxes go up.
Property tax.
According to Trump, oil just went up. Okay.
Well, I don't know.
It's going to go down.
I pumped yesterday and it went down.
It's going to go down.
It's been down.
So it's going to go down.
Big ups to Venezuela.
Yeah. But shout out, that was dope, man. Dylan let off a full clip, and
I'm firing rapid shots right now.
I appreciate you know what,
Joel's like bang, bang, bang.
And funny, look, he got me swag. He got me swag over here. Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, man.
But that's professionalism. That's salesmanship.
I'm trying to make him crack. He won't crack, man.
He's ready. And for all y'all that's watching, take notes, because that's what's going to happen. There are going to be people that say, "Oh, I could buy a resale in the market," but it won't come with the benefits. And if price is an issue for you, then we're going to give you a flex program so you can get the benefits at a lower cost, and then you can upgrade down the line.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So great job, both gentlemen. Good question.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
You know what I'm saying?
Rapid fire.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It made me want to reach for a drink.
Fact, yeah, man. And shout out to our sponsor, Frida's.
Frida's
Coming
through with the margaritas.
Right.
But yeah, man, 2026 is gonna be a good year. I did a study that showed that timeshare sales have still been increasing, even with Airbnbs out there, even with hotels. So the industry is still standing strong. It's just a different animal. You know what I mean? Timeshare is standing strong. People are still vacationing. Resorts are still expanding. Resorts, different companies are still buying other resorts and expanding.
Yeah.
So we got time. You know, there's still growth. So if you're new and you're considering getting into business and you're wondering, shit, is it a good time? It's still a good time. You know what I'm saying? People want a vacation and the product is only getting better and better.
Yeah, I don't see timeshare going anywhere, anytime soon.
Man, we're sharing everything, y'all. What are we talking about here? At the end of the day, when you rent that room, you time sharing that room.
Yeah.
When you rent in that Airbnb, when you do that, Verbo or the Turo or whatever you're doing, you're time sharing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's that the dynamic of the business is definitely not going to go anywhere. And people that want to vacation differently, this is going to be always an option for them, and they're going to continue to seize the opportunity. I promise.
Yeah.
As long as, the business continues to adapt with the needs of the customer, because everybody knows we started on fixed weeks.
Yeah.
And we started in fixed locations, but we realized that at the end of the day, people don't want a vacation that way. So you got to evolve with the times. So,
have you guys evolved to points now? I heard that was coming.
Well, that's another great question with the recent addition of VI Resorts.
VI Resorts.
They're a points-based program, and they got 44 properties there, and actually a few Westgate properties have already gone to points.
Get out of here.
From what I understand.
Okay.
So I don't know, honestly.
You're still pitching weeks though.
I'm here selling you a warranty deed for a week.
Have you heard of the points program?
Yeah, I don't know many details about it. I don't know how it works, but yes, I certainly have heard that's the case. Like there are certain lower tier Westgate properties that have gone into the points program already.
Now you are a person that's you're in a hybrid resort,
right?
So you get to see owners and non-owners.
That is correct.
That means you get exchangers as well.
And I get renters. I get from everywhere.
Have you found exchangers that own points and say, I want to buy weeks because it makes more sense?
Once they get done hearing the week's presentation, it absolutely makes more sense for them. Sure. Yeah. And they end up upgrading from those resorts that have gone to points into our premier resorts that are week.
One thing I like about your product is that when you sell a person that has points, they even have the ability to deposit their points with one of your systems.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So from what I understand is that they're taking on a way to still grant the points that they still owned from back then. Again, I'm not too sure exactly what we're doing with that, but I understand that we're not having them lose anything,
What's your take on families, or what's your angle or strategy on families that come in that the mom and dad own? So they're just, my mom owns, my dad owns. How do you tackle the kids of owners?
It's a tough one. I've noticed that is a tough market because when you're going to get it at the end of the day, like it's guaranteed, right? But I try to address how old is mom? We're talking 20 years from now. So what, you're going to make her stop vacationing for the next 20 years so that you can do your thing? I think that's a little selfish. So I try to go a little bit more based on the ego, I guess. Ego is where I would go with that. But
how many kids?
How many kids are there? That's also true, because if there's 1 week ownership and we're all trying to use up a week, what are we going to vacation every 3 years?
For sure.
Every 4 years? So, at that point, obviously you gotta look at what they own and how they're using it. But if he thinks that because Ma gave up their vacation this year, shoot, they're gonna do that every year, I think that's selfish. So I try to go with that angle. Like, you need your own product. You need your own week. And then once you get that inheritance, you're able to add this to what you own. And not just that, but once you own with us, again, you're going to get all those benefits. When you inherit this, you're not going to receive any of those benefits.
For sure.
So once you get the benefits and you inherit this, the benefits are also going to be able to attach to that,
For sure. Now, I know we're always learning something new every day, new pitch, new strategy, new this, new that. But is it safe to say you've heard every objection there is to?
I mean, I think that there's only really 12 objections.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you all of them right now off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But there's only but a dozen of them. You know, buying a house. My kids are in college.
Wait a minute.
I don't vacation.
If I'm not mistaken, did you get a deck of the?
Yeah, of course I got the deck.
Oh, nice.
100%.
Nice.
I moved in August and I was going through some boxes like 2 weeks ago. And I came across the deck there, and I was like, solid. Like,
so for those who are watching, we had the timeshare objection cards. They are sold out.
They're sold out now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we sold out.
Nice.
And we went to a new digital. I think that drops next month. But how did you find it? Did you find it beneficial?
Of 100%. Yeah, you know, and I also found it fun because I sit there with my wife and start slapping cards down on the table and. She'd be like, nah, like that didn't work. You know, like you got to read that one again.
Right. That's what's
so
up.
yeah, 100%, man. Like I said, you know, if you're not building every single day, if you're not learning something new every single day in this industry, you're getting left behind.
Got you. You know, there's some what they call timeshare professionals or moochers, people that just come in for the gifts. They play the game. They've been on thousands of timeshare presentations, but you know, one of the games that they like to play is they go through the whole process with you, and then at the end they tell you something similar to, you know, oh man, the wife wants to remodel the pool back at home. If this wasn't in the way, then we would do the timeshare. If X and Z wasn't in, if X, Y, and Z wasn't in the way, then we would do the timeshare. If someone's at the end of the presentation telling you that, oh, Joel, if this wasn't in the way, we would do the timeshare ownership with you. You know, what's your angle, or how would you try to take that? Or would you feel like you missed something earlier in the presentation? Or
Nah, I mean, I think obviously there's always the best way to overcome an objection is to overcome it before it comes up.
Absolutely.
100%. So if it comes up, I mean, now we're in the nitty gritty of it. Now we got to address it.
Yeah.
I mean, my first question is going to be like, do you plan to stop vacationing now that you're going to be adding this pool?
Yeah.
Because if you plan to stop vacationing, then I mean, I can understand. But I know that y'all are not going to stop vacationing.
Right,
I know that next year, your wife is going to want to go somewhere, and you're going to find the funds to make it happen. So the pool,
wish you would have got that information in Discovery anyway.
Absolutely, so, yeah, 100%. Because I make sure to know what is our next trip, where are we going, when are we going. Absolutely. So if that did come up, then eventually I'd be like, well, didn't we say we was going to Europe next year? So,
yeah.
Europe's expensive.
Right.
So, or didn't we say we was going to South Carolina even? And even that can be, you know, a weekend in South Carolina is going to run you $1,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, any type of objection that comes up, ask questions is my only advice. Mm-hmm. The only way to overcome an objection is by getting more information.
For sure. You don't seem like someone that's scared to ask for the money.
No. I mean, it depends. If I feel like they're not sold on it, I'm gonna feel like a jerk asking you for a credit card.
Yeah, I think all of us are at that moment where we want to ask, but we don't ask. You know what I'm saying?
Like, so where do I take credit cards, checks, cash? Shoot,
that's funny.
I haven't had an issue asking for a credit card. Thank God.
There you go.
What's your delivery when you're asking like the sticker price, the highest price, and
You know, I actually just came across a new way to do that, man. I've been selling 4 bedrooms. I only sell 4 bedrooms. We only sell 4 bedrooms.
There you go.
I'm gonna check to see if I have the ability to give you that too that you need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That isn't always available though.
There you go.
So I shoot high.
Keep the numbers high.
Keep the numbers as high as possible. The value as high as possible. I mean, I work on the beach, man. That's the only thing you can't duplicate. So I sell the heck out of the beach. Like I tell them, when you buy here, you're not buying that unit, that beautiful unit that I just showed you. What you're buying is, boom, the beach. Like touch the sand, touch the water. And yeah, so being the fact that I'm on the beach, it gives me the ability to say, like, you know, I tell them the story that I bought a house in Winter Haven, Florida. And if I grab that house and I put it on the beach, it's $1 million house.
Correct. Absolutely.
So when I show them that price, it's a believable price because at the end of the day, man, it's on the beach.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because we use Disney as an example because we're right here in Orlando.
That is correct.
So we tell them, if you had your house and you put it right there on Disney property,
backyard,
what's going to be the value? But you're able to take that because we have some viewers that say, well, we don't live in Orlando, so we can't use Disney as what. But you just use the beach. Okay, well, if I took your house and put it back in behind in front of a beach, what do you have there? Beachfront property. What's the value? Is it going to go more than what you're currently at? So if you guys are listening, you don't have to use the beach if you're not next to a beach. You don't have to use Disney World if you don't have a theme park, but just use whatever your main attraction is. Yeah, the mountains where you're at.
Your area is that we call it area growth.
Right.
What's going on around, but your area. Shout out to all the people from Hawaii. We have a huge following from Hawaii.
Oh wow, really? That's dope.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Hawaii,
Shout out
Myrtle
Hawaii.
Beach. Shout out to everybody. Even Missouri, Branson. It's a lot of people.
Missouri.
But shout out to people on the beach, on Myrtle Beach, Hawaii.
Joel, is this a sale that you say sales reps must be creative?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm blown away sometimes when some of these reps from Orlando come over to Cocoa for the weekend. We need some help or whatever. And the things that they come up with, I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm about to hand over a credit card. It's the truth, So having creativity is certainly going to give you a leg up. That's a fact. But,
For sure.
But as long as you're sticking to the truth,
For sure, yeah,
as long as
yeah,
you're sticking to the truth,
Yeah.
you could be as creative as you want on that table. I think,
Absolutely.
get the deal. You're going to be helping them in the long run because a lot of people say, well, I'm not ready to make a decision. But the last thing that they understand is that not making a decision is a decision.
Right.
You're saying no.
Yeah.
And you're saying no not just to me. You're saying no to your wife. You're saying no to your daughter. You're saying no to your son. And I didn't grow up with timeshare. I grew up in New Jersey, man. Our if we wasn't in DR, we was in Six Flags. That's what our summers consisted of. So when I moved down here and I saw how the way that these folks are vacationing down here, I said to myself, shoot, I'd be a fool to negate my son or my future daughter or my future son, from the ability to vacation this way 100%.
Yeah. And what you're saying, the reason why someone is telling you why they shouldn't purchase is the reason why they actually should
Absolutely.
purchase. Because regardless, I was telling my mom this because she's in timeshare. Okay. Oh, they said they wanted to remodel the house. Oh, they said they're going to buy this. Oh, they said they got to pay for the kids' tuition. I said, Ma, well, think about it. Let's say they had the ownership already. Let's say they bought it already, right? And it's paid off. Okay, what would they be doing with all the extra money now that they don't have to spend, $5, $6, $7, $8 a year on vacation?
Because they're still gonna go.
Because they're still gonna go. They're gonna take that money and they're gonna put. That's why when I used to sell timeshare, I used to say, guys, what this is gonna do for you. It's gonna put the kids through college. It's gonna pay off the house. It's gonna. I used to bring up all those objections, and they used to look at me like, "How is this gonna do that?" You know what I'm saying? Now they find that out later on in the presentation, but this is what this will do for you. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
You know what? I mean, incorporate that.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Absolutely.
And that is what it's gonna do because in the long run, when you're not spending, like you said, between 7, 8, 10 grand on vacations every year, that's money that could be put elsewhere.
For sure. Absolutely.
Let's talk about this Mont Blanc pen that you have over here. It's really sexy.
Thank you, bro. Man. I just signed my first contract. It's brand new.
Oh, man.
I just signed my first contract with that one
it's very, very sexy.
On Tuesday. No, what's today? Thursday?
Thursday.
On Tuesday, I signed my first contract with that one. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I respect that.
Thank you, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's your take on families well, not families, sales reps usually say this. Oh, I don't want to dress up in a suit in front of the family because I don't want to intimidate them.
Hey, I'm fortunate I'm on the beach.
Okay, gotcha.
That helps me out a bit in the terms of the wear. I don't gotta come in all dressed up because then I'd look awkward dressed that way being on the beach.
Yeah.
But I think honestly you gotta dress for the job and opportunity that you want. So if what you're looking for is for success and you're not having that success that you want, then and changing your attire is then those little things are certainly gonna give you the leg up. Yeah. Maybe a little bit more professionalism, maybe a little bit more, respectability at the table is what's stopping you from actually getting that yes. Yeah.
I think if you live on the beach, if you work on the beach, just be comfortable, be relaxed.
Shoot, if I could wear shorts and some, little tom-toms, I would, but that's not the case.
Back in the day, That's how in-house used to dress.
Really?
Short sleeves, khakis,
Laid back.
laid back. People thought they were like bellboys. That's the way it used to be.
I don't mind that confusion.
They should let
with,
that.
With
But
the bellboy with that paycheck.
No. They used to tip you, like because checking. But like we got spoiled in our era. But in-house used to be a backdoor sale where you would meet the family, check them in, take them to their room, take their bags, and then hook them for the tour.
Right.
So they would thought you just a regular, bell staff or whatever, and they would tip you $10, $20 or whatever. But then you're bringing them up for a maintenance report, and then that's going to be your presentation where you upgrade them. But
how things have changed.
Things have changed. It's got better for us, and a lot of people, like a lot of reps, don't realize where the industry has come from. You know what I mean? Like, I like the industry because we don't have to pay for marketing. These resorts give you these families. They're gifting them. They're paying them for their time.
That's huge, bro.
And you get all these opportunities in front of you. Where if you're in a residential real estate or commercial real estate, you're
you got to
marketing
go out
yourself.
and hunt for that.
You got to go out and hunt.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you money out of your pocket. You got to pay for multiple different things. So it's a great opportunity. So if you've been on the fence about, should you get involved or should you not get involved? I think it's worth a shot. Even if your goal is to go somewhere else, residential, commercial, I think that this teaches you. It's a stepping stone. It teaches you a lot. You meet families, you learn commonalities. I mean, you saw the family from a different culture the other day.
Yeah, literally.
The Indian culture has a different process when it comes to buying things. They check in with their family first. They have arranged marriages.
That's what I was waiting. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the phone call. I got to call my elder. I literally thought that. And, thank the Lord that they were on board. They were paying attention because it helped a lot that the kids were entertained. Had they had to be all over the children, I don't think I would have been able to successfully get that deal done.
But let's talk about something for a minute. I just got back from Ghana, right? When you meet families from other countries, as a salesperson here in the United States, we're quick to like, oh my God, I got an Asian family. Oh my gosh, I got a Chinese, Indian family. Oh my gosh, I got people from Dubai. Like different continents, different areas, they don't do what we do here. They don't jump into debt. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
This concept that we're selling on them, like, yo, prepay your vacations and vacation for a lifetime. Right. And we're like, you got to do it today. Like, respectfully, that's new. You know what I'm saying? But we have this mentality like, oh, we got this family. Let me see. This might be a bullet. You know what I'm saying? We are really hitting them with some American concepts.
Yes, it's very true. I mean, it's very, very new to some of these folks.
Yeah,
and to that Indian family, it was brand new. They had no idea what was timeshare. But I mean, again, I guess the delivery was right.
Delivery was right, man.
And the information seemed, or is accessible. So yeah, I mean, it worked out. Thank God. Everyone was blown away.
Respect.
When I went for that loan application.
Respect to you for selling that family.
Thank you.
Because it's just like somebody can take a class, right? And a teacher, every teacher is not the same. How the message is delivered is how you receive the information as a student.
Correct.
You did a good job explaining it. You did a good job of making them want it. And then they separated from their money to become an owner. You know what I mean? Because vacations may not have been important. Most of the people that I meet from India, they already going, that's all they do. They go back home as a vacation for X amount of weeks. You know what I mean? But you did your thing. So shout out to you.
Thank you. And man, civil engineers. I mean,
they
were here for NASA because they want their child to be.
And you was in Coco.
Yeah. They want their child to be a NASA engineer.
Nice.
And that's why they were here, to show her the rocket ship.
So if any of you watching, you should know your social styles. So anybody wants to be an engineer, they're properly analytical.
Very analytical.
You know what I mean? So the numbers got to make sense. It has to be, this is a logical sale.
Right.
Less of an emotional sale.
Right.
And if you hit them with the emotion, it has to be backed up with logic.
Yeah. Speaking of know your surroundings, I was on tour one time. I had a family from Kuwait. And I'm pitching my heart out. And at the end of the presentation, I'm pitching the American Express because we had a down payment assistance. And I'm pitching, hey man, you could just do the American Express and you could do this and you pay for it 6 months, 0 interest. My TO came and got me off the table. Dylan, come over here for a second. He pulled me to the side. He's like, what the hell are you doing, man? I said, yo, I'm pitching American Express. He's interested. He's like, listen, If you went to Publix right now and you pulled out a credit card that said, you know, the Bank of Iraq, he's like, do you think the teller's gonna look at you crazy? I'm like, yeah, they probably gonna look at me crazy. He's like, so why the hell are you over there offering this guy from Kuwait American Express? Like, if he pulled that out in his country, they're gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, you're right. I didn't think of that.
That's so funny.
So you gotta be, aware of your surroundings and who you're talking to.
Beyond that, they had no social to apply.
That too. I didn't know at the time. You know what I'm saying?
But you either got to be aware of political situation as well at that point. You know,
American. I want an American Express. I want an Iraqi. I want a Kuwait Express.
Oh yeah. Kuwait Express.
Nah, but it's love, man. I mean, shout out, and thank you for coming up and
man, dude,
sure.
this was awesome. This was awesome.
That.
I really am enjoying myself.
If you have any for any viewers that are watching, they probably got 1 foot in the game, 1 foot out the game. Maybe they about to get out of the game. Maybe they don't have a real estate license and they're thinking of getting in the game. Do you have any advice for them of people that are looking to get into the timeshare industry?
Take the leap of faith. Prep yourself. I'm not going to say, eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches so you can make it happen. Mm-hmm. Prep yourself, but take a leap of faith and believe in yourself most of all, I think. Mm-hmm. You got to be very confident to do this, and you got to be very assertive, and you got to be driven, and you got to be very positive.
Absolutely.
And you got to be enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And if you're lacking in any one of those things, you're going to be your biggest downfall, or I should say your biggest enemy.
Yeah, for sure.
That will lead to your downfall. So if you got 1 foot in the game, get both feet in. Let's do this. Let's close in 60.
There you go. I want to say this. So we created the one and only timeshare GPT coach. So let's shout out to her real quick. So listen up. We on the podcast live. We just had Joel drop his experiences with his experience in timeshare. He's been in the business for 1.5 years. We're going to close out the show. Anybody that wants to get the timeshare GPT, they can go to the link in our Instagram bio. But Coach, do you want to say anything to the audience so that they can know where to find you and what you could do for them?
Absolutely. Thanks for giving me the shout out on the podcast. And hello to everyone listening in. If you're curious about how I can help, I'm basically your on-demand timeshare sales coach. I draw from the Sold in 60 playbook to give you live tips on handling objections, motivating your team, and nailing those upgrades and presentations. You can find me through the link in the show notes or the Instagram bio, and I'm here to help you turn those tough sales into wins. Also, if you want to keep leveling up, check out the Sold in 60 YouTube channel for ongoing strategies and inspiration. Let's make those timeshare goals happen.
That's what's up, baby.
2026.
We are activated, baby.
Yo, I'll give you that. That's fire, bro.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah. Oh, I need that.
For sure.
I'm not on Instagram, though, bro.
We got you right here.
You got to give me that link, Papa.
Say less.
Wow, that was dope. Good on you, Rich. Way to go, Dylan. Way to go. Y'all killing it out here, for real, man. By the way, this is the first podcast I ever do, so. If I'm a little nervous or if I'm a little sweaty or something, that's what it is.
Start your own show, baby.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
We appreciate y'all watching. Like, subscribe, share. We are organic. Comment below us how we connect. Click the links in our bio. Grab everything that we've made for you because this is for us, our community. As you see, we're going to grow. 2026 is your year. Take it. It's there for the taking. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
For sure.
Cheers to y'all.
And we out just like that.
Peace.
Salud.